With Rambo First Blood Part 2, the novelization being as good as it was, I had no idea the quality of Rambo 3. Now, Rambo 3 was an even weirder development because David Morrell had to have written at least 12 drafts of it before he gave up and just continued writing when the script kept changing. So, you have characters that are not in the movie. Rambo 3 is about, of course, Rambo going to Afghanistan to rescue Troutman. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That, in and of itself, is pretty much the similarity between it and the film. Structurally, they're the same, but different things happen. For instance, Rambo gets caught in a sandstorm in the middle of this book. Musa, his guide, is more of a character in the book than he is in the movie. There is a Dutch medic who Rambo befriends, not a love interest for him, but they are friends. The villain is more of a coward. He's given more character. There's another Russian. Well, we have to talk about the political intrigue in these books because it references political stuff that a lot of people wouldn't know now. For instance, in Rambo First Blood Part 2, there's a reference to an incident in Nicaragua that happened right around the mid-'80s that people my age wouldn't necessarily know. I happened to be a history buff and was like, oh, okay, we're going to talk about that. But in this, basically, the Russians invaded Afghanistan, and it was a nasty, long war that helped bankrupt the Soviet Union. It was very costly. It's sort of, well, we did the same thing later, but a lot of people have. A lot of people have invaded Afghanistan. And no one ever wins Afghanistan. No one ever conquers Afghanistan. And that's sort of the point of this book, is like, not all the Russians are bad. They're just doing their jobs. There's a Russian officer in this that is very relatable. He just wants to go home. But his superior is a psychopath and thinks he can win this area when he can't. There's another guy who does the bidding of the crazy officer, and he does all these horrible things, but really he hates it. Yeah, it's a very dark book. And it also stems from the fact that while writing this book, David Morrell's son was dying of cancer. And you see it a lot, and also with the theme, which focuses around Islam and their belief of destiny, is brought up quite a bit. And Rambo doesn't believe in this because he's Zen Buddhist, but he kind of understands it. Well, he doesn't. He's trying to find his place in the world. And overall, it's a very good book. Is it as good as Rambo First Blood Part 2? Yeah. Yeah, all these books are on par with one another, just really good reads. Sadly, there was no novelization of the fourth Rambo film, which was just titled Rambo. At the time, movie novelizations were not as popular because of DVD was a thing. Blu-ray was starting to become a thing in 2008, so media was easier to get a hold of. Now that we live in this retro phase, we have movie novelizations, which makes me curious if David Morrell will write a novelization for Rambo 5 Last Blood. I doubt it. Mind you, he is the only person that can legally write Rambo, at least in a novel form. So that is my review of Rambo 3. Anyway, give it 5 out of 5 stars. Have a nice day, people.